Buongiorno e benvenuti. Welcome to our Coffee Break Italian Black Friday live event. I'm delighted to be here. I hope that you are well. I hope that you are ready for about 40 minutes of information from me all about our range of courses, because the whole idea of this event is about giving you the right information you need to know which is the next step to take with your Italian. And it's an important time because it's a very useful time to take that next step, given that there is a fantastic 40% off all of our courses. Now, let me see who is watching. We're broadcasting today on YouTube, on our Coffee Break Italian account. We are broadcasting on our Coffee Break Languages account, and we're also broadcasting on Facebook. So wherever you're watching, you're very welcome. Benvenuti a tutti. And also, if you're watching the replay, because this will be available afterwards as a replay, if you're watching the replay, you're also very welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. We've got Nancy in Ohio. Great, Nancy. Good to have you here. Janet is in Sweden. Jättebra. Välkomna till alla svenskor. We have Educate the Children in Ithaca. And we've got Celia saying ciao. So let us know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions about your next step with Coffee Break Italian, then please post them in the chat and I will do my best to answer them. Let's just check that everything is working. We have our slides here. Yeah, we do indeed have our slides. We should have our website here. Yep. And I'm here. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. And I hope that you can, I hope that you've got everything you need. I'm sure you do. We've got a few more people. So Celia's in Sheffield even. Lisa's in Nevada. Kate is in Torino, originally Australian, but now in Torino, Turin. We've got Dana in Colorado. Jackie in New Jersey. I was in New Jersey on Monday. I was coming through on Monday. I can't remember what day it was. I was over in the States, coming in from Philadelphia to New York and going through New Jersey in the train. Chris is in Croydon. We've got B in Yorkshire. Shannon is in Minneapolis, and Margarita and Margie and Wayne are in London. Fantastic. You're all very welcome, and I hope that you find this useful, basically helping you take that next step with your Italian. I think it's about time we get started. I should mention, this is the 4th live stream that I have done today. I'm a little bit hoarse. I've got a bit of a cough. So if you see me disappear, you know it's just because I need to cough. And I hopefully won't cough on microphone. But hopefully everything will go smoothly. Let us take a look at what we've got on offer this week. So this is our main Black Friday website. The address for that is coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF2024. And this is where you need to go to access all of the information about our Black Friday sale. And here, well, you can see here it's counting down. We've only got 4 days left. We're stopping on Tuesday evening. So Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. on the 3rd of December, that's when Black Friday event will finish. But you've still got the opportunity to save now. We have 9 languages, and today, obviously, we're talking about Italian. So on this page, we've got information about all of our languages. And if we were to click on Italian here, we'll jump to the Italian section of the page, which will show you some of the highlights of what we have available. But view our full range of Italian courses is what you need to do. So click on that, and that takes you to our Black Friday Italian page. I'll just get rid of this. And here, you'll see that it's separated into beginners, intermediate, advanced, the video club, which I'll tell you about, and our bundles. Okay, so what we're going to do is really just talk through all of our levels. What would be really good to know, if you can post in the chat, what level are you at? Would you describe yourself as a beginner, maybe an upper beginner, if you have done some Italian, but don't feel as if you've made much progress so far? Or are you intermediate? Or do you feel you've done a lot of Italian and are you therefore at an advanced level? Let me know in the chat what level you feel you're at, because that will give me an indicator of how much time to spend on each of the different levels. I'll be talking through the courses, showing you what they look like in the academy and so on. But before we do that, let me jump back to the slides. That is the wrong slide. I think we need to be on these slides. Let me see. Yeah, these are the slides. We're going to be talking about the Academy courses. We're going to be talking about the Coffee Break Club, our on-demand video library. We're going to be talking about pricing. I'll show you how to save that 40%, and it's really, really straightforward. And then there will be time for Q&A as well at the end. And if you have any questions at any point during the show, then just pop them in the chat and I will do my best to answer them. So let's take a look. We have got some beginners. I see that. We've got a false beginner, hard to know where to start. Yep, that makes sense. An upper beginner, upper beginner intermediate, intermediate. So Dana's saying intermediate, read okay, but speaking is rough. That is such a common situation where you feel that you can read, you can understand what's written down, but then speaking it, creating the language, or even listening to the language can be more of a challenge when you're not actually seeing it written down. So you can be very confident in one skill and less confident in another skill. And it's our job to help you move forward in confidence across all of the skills. Ed's saying upper to intermediate beginner, can read it really well, speaking is still a bit difficult. So you're the same situation as Dana. Jackie, beginner doing Duolingo, listening to music and some reading, but not comfortable in speaking. Great. Lee is saying a beginner at level A2, been struggling for around a year or so. Very, very common. Chris saying upper beginner, understand a fair bit, but struggle with recall. This is so useful because I think, first of all, it's useful to you to see that other people are just like you. Secondly, it's useful to me because it gives me an indication of what I should talk about, what I should tell you about today. I'm going to talk through each of our levels, and I'll also mention the other courses that are available. I'm also going to be talking about the club. And the club, I think, already seeing from what you're talking about, I think the club is going to be really helpful for many of you. Let me come back to that, though, because I think we should start with Coffee Break Italian Level 1. That's our beginner's course. If you're an absolute beginner, never done any Italian before, then Coffee Break Italian Level 1 is where to start. If you have got the absolute basics, if you can say hello, buongiorno, buonasera, if you can say un caffè per favore, if you can ask you come ti chiami, come si chiama, and introduce yourself and so on. Even at that point, if you can do those basic things, Coffee Break Italian Level 1 will still be a really good course to follow, because it's going to give you what we see as a very solid grammatical foundation on which to build. And it's that whole building that you really want to do when it comes to learning a language. You need to build on what's gone before. So every little bit that you learn, you build on that and you move forward on that basis. Let's take a look at Coffee Break Italian in the Coffee Break Academy. So the Academy is our website where we host all our courses. You can see we've got lots of different languages here. But in Coffee Break Italian Level 1, I'm just going to make this a little bigger. Okay, so Level 1, you can see at the beginning we're talking about really, really basic stuff. Hello and how are you? So if we go into the notes here for this lesson, you'll see saying hello. Ciao. Come stai? How are you? Sto bene. I'm well. So really basic stuff, but everything is explained. We don't shy away from grammar. We explain things with the grammar. You see little example conversations. And I should also say that with Coffee Break Italian, you're seeing me as a teacher, Francesca as our native speaker, and Katie as a learner. And you're learning along with Katie. So you're never alone in that sense. Katie will ask questions. Guaranteed, these will be the questions you have. Katie might make mistakes with her pronunciation, and as we help her, guaranteed that these are probably the same mistakes that you're going to be making. So it's learning with someone, but that someone's part of the presentation of the lesson, if that makes sense. So that's lesson 1. Lesson 1 is very, very basic, obviously. But already as we move through, let's jump to lesson 10, end of unit review. So even in just 10 lessons, you can see already we've full conversations at the beginning of the lesson in Italian. You can see, if I just scroll down, so this is a conversation which is based on what's gone before. And you can see there's already a lot more Italian in this. Una panetteria? Sì, ce n'è una, ma un po' lontano. Sulla cartina ce n'è una qui. Ma lei non è italiano. This is already quite developed Italian. So we will make more progress as we work through the lessons. And if we jump through some of these other lessons, so ordering drinks, eating in a restaurant, hotels, numbers, days and months, and so on, shopping. So lots of practical situations where you're going to be using or where you're going to be learning the Italian that you need to use in practical situations. Talking about the weather, aches and pains, going to the pharmacy, but also grammatical things like the present tense and how to form irregular verbs, likes and dislikes, using mi piace plus infinitive, or mi piace plus a thing, or mi piacciono plus multiple things, because remember, in Italian, things are pleasing to you. So, very interesting. We then go to the final section of the lesson, of the course, and the lessons 31 to 40 are where Katie went to Italy and put her language skills into practice, along with Francesca and me, and indeed Francesca's family. So if, for example, we jump to lesson 39, making tiramisu in Francesca's kitchen in the Pettinengo with her mum, and we have the conversation here, so you can see this is how much progress we've made at the end of the course. Katie says, cosa sta cucinando, signora Anna? What are you cooking? Anna says, ho fatto l'arrosto. So I've made a roast. Che buono, non vedo l'ora di provarlo. Ma che cos'è quello? So I can't wait to try it. But what's this? And so you can see here, it's a real conversation. This is how much Katie has learned over the course of the 39 lessons that have gone before. And at this stage, we're putting it into practice with some really nice conversations. And of course, everything is explained with vocabulary, grammar explanations, and the whole explaining everything that you need to move on with your Italian. So level 1 really does take you far. So some of you are saying false beginner, or maybe a little upper than, not quite a total beginner, but if you feel you can understand this, then you'll definitely need to move on to level 2. But if this is already quite challenging for you, then really consider level 1 and working through the early lessons of level 1 quite quickly, but then getting more into the details as we move forward with level 1. Okay, so that so far is, we've just looked at level 1, and we've got lots of other courses that will help you move forward if you're a higher level. One of the other courses that we offer at a beginner's level is Coffee Break Italian to Go Season 1. And that is the idea where we're putting the Italian that we learn into practice with videos recorded with native speakers on the streets of Italy. So this is not for complete beginners, but the questions that we're asking in these videos are, for example, what do you like to do at the weekend? So, cosa ti piace fare il fine settimana? And ti piace plus an infinitive. So these are things that we've learned in level 1, and then we're seeing them, and you're hearing the authentic Italian responses from native speakers as we get those answers. And most of that was filmed in Milan, so some lovely views too. Pricing-wise, the main course, level 1, is normally $199. With our 40% off, it's down to $119. You can also buy this in pound sterling. So if you click the buy now button, it takes you through to the website and gives you the same discount in the pound sterling course, the pound sterling pricing option. Italian to Go is a small course. It's just 10 video lessons, $26 normally, down to $16 with the discount. One thing to mention is that in our sale, and indeed just generally on our website, we don't have a shopping cart function. It's just not part of the website. So if you wanted to buy more than one course, simply go back to this page, add it to your cart, and I've just said we don't have a shopping cart function, but then add it to your cart. Basically, what I mean is click the buy now button, go through, process the purchase, and then go back and add the other thing as a separate purchase. Just purchase each course separately, if that makes sense. I'm making this much more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, so that is our Coffee Break Italian beginners materials. Let's move on to intermediate. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry. Okay, Coffee Break Italian level 2. So this is where we're taking things further. And this is, again, some of you are saying upper beginner, intermediate level. If you have already done Coffee Break Italian level 1, then obviously level 2 is perfect. Again, this is $199 down to $119. And we're going to take a look at it now in the Academy. So if I just come back here, and we'll go to level 2 this time. And we can see Coffee Break Italian level 2. So you can see there's quite a grammar focus in Coffee Break Italian level 2. We didn't shy away from grammar in level 1. But here, as we move forward, we do need to look at grammar in more detail. We need to get a clearer understanding of how grammar works. So looking at the present tense, looking at are verbs, looking at reflexive verbs, a che ora ti alzi, when do you get up? We are looking at other types of verbs, ire verbs. We're looking at irregular verbs like fare. And then situations where we use fare, where we don't use fare in English. So fare means to do or to make, but fare colazione means to have breakfast. So we use to have in English, whereas fare colazione in Italian. And then other expressions like avere bisogno di fare qualcosa, to need to do something. And so it continues. Lots of interesting lessons. You might notice here, I pantaloni blu sono molto eleganti. So the blue trousers are very elegant. A strange name for a lesson, but you'll probably pick up that we're talking about adjectives. Eleganti, the plural form of a masculine, indeed the plural form of any elegante adjective. Again, che belle scarpe e che bell'orologio. So belli and belle and bei and all of the variations of bello. Really interesting lesson there. And we keep going all the way through the course, looking at different language points. And in each one, of course, you've got the video, the audio, the notes, and the bonus audio. If we jump into the notes, you'll see we've got lots of Italian in the introduction, and then some explanations. There's a presentation of a language point. And then when we, so here we're looking at the difference between the perfect tense, I believe, when Elisa è arrivata, she arrived, and ho incontrato Giovanni, that's the thtum, that's when it happened, while something else was happening. So that's the imperfect and the perfect interrupting it. So these are just some examples of what is being covered. So there's practice session, and then there's a caffè culturale, a transcript there of the cultural point. Lots of information there. And of course, you can watch this as a video, and the video has the words on screen as opposed to people on screen. So there's an error occurred. That's because we're broadcasting at the same time as watching the video. And then we've got the audio version if you prefer to listen out and about, the lesson notes, and then bonus audio too. So 40 lessons of Coffee Break Italian level 2, again at this higher level. And I'll just jump to the end of the series so that you can see again the kind of how far you've come. So this is a script of a lovely, we've got a soap opera, as you could call it, a soap opera that forms the last 10 episodes. It's called La Mia Estate. And that forms the last 10 episodes of level 2. And here you can see this is the level of the Italian, lots of Italian and we're talking about complex Italian at this stage. And of course, we take a closer look at it with explanations and everything else. So that's level 2 of our course. We also have some other content at this level. So we've got our Italian travel diaries, and these are 2 series of short texts, basically, following a journey. So we're following a couple in a virtual journey through Tuscany in the first one, a young couple, and then an older couple following a virtual winter journey through Trentino Alto Adige in Travel Diaries Season 2. So we've got the text, we've got the audio there, and these courses are normally $64. They're down to $38. Italian level 2 is obviously $199, the same as level 1, down to $119 at the moment. we also have our Coffee Break Italian Reading Club. And this is where you get a text every week for a year. And the text features vocabulary and it's a cultural text. So you're learning about the culture associated with Italian speaking places. And there's a text, there's comprehension questions, and an audio version of the text too. So this is something different. It's the Reading Club, and the Reading Club is normally $129, and it's down to $77 within our Black Friday offering. Okay, so far so good. I am going to go on now and talk about the club, but before I do that, I just want to check questions that we've had so far. Lisa's saying, reading, writing, and understanding pretty well, but speak other languages, and when trying to speak, it comes out mixed up. If you understand the same language as I do, you can probably figure it out. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Again, a common situation when you do speak multiple languages, but very, very common. Eileen's saying, upper beginner, need to speak more, understanding text okay. Michelle, I've been listening to weekly intermediate stories in Coffee Break Academy. I understand most of the paragraph before translation. I wonder if level 2 would be too advanced. So the weekly intermediate stories in Coffee Break Academy, I'm not quite sure which course you're referring to there, Michelle. If you can let me know exactly the course, then I can tell you exactly which level to go for next. But I'm not quite sure what you're referring to with the intermediate stories. It's maybe the travel diaries. Let me know. Jackie's asking, how long does the course last? Can you save and use more than once? Absolutely. So these courses that we've looked at so far are all lifetime access. So if you buy level 1, you've got it. You can listen as many times as you like. You can watch the video. You can download the lesson notes. You can print them out. You've got access to this for as long as you need them. And you can also download it to your own device. Yeah, so and I'm about to talk about the club, and that's not lifetime access. So I'll explain more about that. But the courses we've seen so far, yes, you've got lifetime access to them. So Michelle saying, the one you just mentioned, so the travel diaries there. So if you've been working through the travel diaries and you find the text, you understand everything in the text, potentially the early lessons of level 2, you may find them a little easy, but already by lesson 7, 8, 9, you'll be getting into more complex stuff. And definitely by the end of level 2, that will be totally new stuff to you. So I would definitely say work through level 2. I think that would make most sense. It would definitely wouldn't be too advanced, especially at the beginning. Janet is saying all the texts are spoken, so we both hear and read. It looks to me like intermediate 1 would be for me. It covers a lot. It does indeed cover a lot. And yes, you've got an audio version of all of the texts. Indeed, you've got an audio podcast that you can listen to where I discuss it with Francesca and with Isla, our learner, in level 2. So you've got the full experience, you've got the written materials to work through, but you've also got that same content in an audio format and a video format. Dana saying, repeat what the frequency of Reading Club text would be. So the Reading Club provides a weekly text, 1 text per week for the next year. Ed say, Italiani, they speak very fast. I spent 3 months in Milan, and while they speak super fast, I was able to probably catch 50%. Any tips on improving this? Well, Ed, funny you should say that. What we're going to look at now, I think, will definitely be a helping hand to you to improve your listening and to, I think so much of listening and speaking is about processing things quickly, and it's about practice and about doing things over and over again. And that's kind of why we built the Coffee Break Club. Very often when we start learning a language, we start and we work through it methodically and moving forward gradually, and everything that we learn, we move forward a little bit more. But then there comes a point where it's hard to keep moving forward at the same pace. And you kind of have to sort of go wider. You need to think of the road as not just a narrow path, but a wide road that will mean that you've got to do a little bit over here, a little bit over here, and a little bit in the middle before you move forward. So you do move forward gradually, but not with as much forward motion, if that makes sense, as you would do at an earlier stage of learning. So what we wanted to do was create something that would provide a way to practice what you have already learned and move forward in little steps every single day. And many of you, I'm sure, are doing things like Duolingo, where you do a little bit every day and you get your streak and you make sure you've done your little bit of Duolingo and you can see that there is a parrot under the plane or something like that. Really useful stuff. I'm joking. I like Duolingo. I'm not being too facetious here. But not as a sole tool for my language learning. I want something else. I want a lesson. I want an experience. And that's what the Coffee Break Club is all about. Let's take a look. The Coffee Break Club is an on-demand video library of language lessons. So it's like Netflix for language learners, if you like. If you're thinking, oh, what will I watch tonight? You look through Netflix and find something that will interest you. You watch it, you enjoy it, you move on. And that's what the club is. But the club is a Netflix full of language lessons. So if we scroll down to our Italian lessons here on the Coffee Break Club, you can see here we've got a collection of many, many, many Italian videos from our Coffee Break Italian team. And in each video, you will move forward a little bit. Each video lesson lasts 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They're short video lessons. And if you've got time to do one of these every single day, then you will really make massive improvements in your Italian. We're going to watch a couple of them now. Let's take a look. We'll do, I wonder, a translation challenge. Let's do a translation challenge with Michela here. So if we go into this, we choose this one. This is episode 41 of our translation challenges. We will choose this one today. If we press play, the idea of this is that Michela is going to challenge us.
Ciao e bentornato.
I'll just explain it. She's going to challenge us to translate something into Italian in 10 seconds. Now, this is emulating the situation that we all find ourselves in when we're speaking a foreign language, particularly if we're traveling in a country where the language is spoken or speaking to native speakers who we happen to know or whatever. We have to think on our feet. And speaking a language, I feel, is about two things. One, it's about getting the pronunciation right so that you know what to say when you want to say it and how you, the pronunciation is so that you are making yourself understood and people can understand the words that you're saying. But the other bit is about thinking on your feet. And thinking on your feet is something that you can practice. You can prepare yourself. You can train yourself to think on your feet and formulate the words in the correct way, formulate things in a way that they make sense. So with our translation challenges in the club, that's exactly what we're doing. We're giving you random phrases to translate, sensible phrases, not the parrot is under the plane, sensible phrases to translate into Italian that you never know may come up in the conversations. So let's jump to a translation that Michela is going to give us here. Let's jump to this part.
An astronaut. Ok? 10 secondi, via. I wonder if she will be an astronaut. Come tradurla in italiano? A possible translation could be chissà se lei sarà un astronauta o chissà se sarà un astronauta. An alternative translation to this could be mi domando se sarà un astronauta o mi domando se lei sarà un astronauta. Remember, in Italian, we don't always need pronouns, so that's why the lei is in brackets. We could say it or we could not say it. Doesn't matter. So the verb essere in the future tense is sarà.
Okay, so obviously here, that is a fairly random sentence, but if you're thinking, imagine the situation where you're having a conversation with someone talking about children and thinking about what they want to be when they grow up, and you might say, I wonder if she will be an astronaut, I wonder if she will be an accountant, or whatever it is that you're happening to say. But crucially, what we're doing is preparing you to use these forms, mi domando se plus the future, or chissà se plus the future. Now, that's quite advanced in this particular example. And the videos of the club are in a variety of levels. So let's go back into our full collection and see if we can find something else. So here is Francesca in A Coffee Break With, and this one is obviously a Halloween-themed version, and it's about the expression che spaghetto. Let's have a listen.
Ciao and welcome to the Coffee Break Italian Club. Io sono Francesca and in this video we are going to talk about something spooky, perfect for this time of the year. That's right, Halloween. Although this tradition in Italy has picked up only in recent years, now it has become quite popular. So, let's get ready for una festa di Halloween insieme. I hope you have your cup of coffee to start working on your Italian with me. Allora dai, cominciamo! So, as I've just said, if you're going to una festa di Halloween in Italia, first of all, you need un costume o un travestimento, a costume, an outfit. Probably people will ask you before the party, da cosa ti vesti? What are you dressing up as? And you can reply by saying, mi vesto da, and add the name of the character. Let's see some examples. Strega, witch, or masculine, stregone.
Okay, so you can get the idea there. Lots of thematic content, lots of interesting content, and there's grammar explanations, there's translation challenges, there are SIP videos, which are study, investigation, practice, where you're studying a point, you're investigating it further, and then you're continuing on to practice it. We've got our discovery videos, which are about places in the world or interesting facts about Italy. We've got our Over to You videos where we're inviting you to contribute to the discussion by posting a video yourself, practicing your speaking, and our Walk, Talk and Learn videos where we identify an interesting phrase out and about, and then we go back to the studio to talk about the phrase. There are literally hundreds of videos in the club, so something new to watch every single day. And I feel quite confident in my Italian, but every single time I watch a club video, I learn something new. And I think that's exactly what we want to promote with the club. It's this idea of taking a little step forward on a regular basis. The club normally is a monthly or an annual subscription. But we decided for this Black Friday to do something a little different. In fact, what we've done, if I just come back to this page, we should be able to see it. What we've done is create a one-off payment for a 13-month pass. So for the payment of normally $220, but it's down to $132, that $132 will get you access to the club from today all the way until the 31st of December 2025. So new videos being added all the time, a huge library of videos already in there. And for the payment, you also get access to the French, German, and Spanish videos too. So if you're learning another language, it's the perfect way to practice multiple languages. And it literally means that for about 24 pence or 30 cents per day, you're able to access all of this fantastic content and move forward with your Italian on a regular basis. So that's the club, and the 13-month pass is only available within our Black Friday sale. And you can unlock that 40% discount today through our webpage, which I think I said earlier is coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF2024. Okay, let's return to our advanced level. Our advanced level would be Coffee Break Italian level 3. We also have a second season of To Go and 2 seasons of the magazine. Now, the magazine is our cultural magazine where we have a text that's discussed in audio is about a cultural topic. I think we can have a look at that in the academy. So let's come back to the academy and go back here. again, I'm aware that there are questions coming through. I will deal with all the questions in just a moment. So here is the Coffee Break Italian Season 2 magazine. So Castelluccio di Norcia, La Perla dell'Umbria. So some of these are about places, some of these are about like famous people. Italo Svevo, the author. La Festa del Primo Maggio. Samantha Cristoforetti. So Samantha, this maybe is where Michela was coming from with her astronauts question. Maybe the girl that was being talked about was inspired by Samantha Cristoforetti, an Italian space station astronaut. So lots of interesting content here, an audio lesson and notes. So here we've got the audio lesson. You can play the audio here, obviously. You've got introductions, then you've got the text itself. And of course, we provide all the vocabulary and explanations for the text. And we talk this through in the audio. If you've listened to any of our podcasts, you'll get the idea. You'll know exactly what we do. The Italian magazine also comes with vocabulary lists with Italian into English and then English into Italian, so you can cover up parts of them and check your understanding. And there are a series of exercises too, which will help you practice what you've learned in each of the lessons. So that's the magazine. And the magazine is normally $79 down to $47, and there are 2 seasons of that available in the club. Sorry, not in the club, in the academy. Level 3 is our main advanced course, and again, with level 3, we're going into the language in much greater detail, really getting into the complex aspects of the grammar. So looking at pronouns, looking at the future tense, the future perfect, comparative adjectives, indirect object pronouns, lots and lots of really interesting stuff there. So if we just jump into one of these, let's see, indefinite adjectives and pronouns. So we've got a video lesson, audio and notes, and bonus audio. Again, just so that it's easy to see what this is, we've got the presentation of the content here. We're talking about qualche, diversi, molto, molti, molta, molte. And then we have a conversation in which all of these language points come up naturally in the conversation. So here's the dialogue here. You can see, I remember this one. You can see the level of the language in this, and it's at a native speaker level. So you are listening to someone speaking at perfectly normal speed. And of course, you can listen many times. And then we go through the dialogue together, talking about the interesting parts of that. So that is level 3. Level 3, normally 199 down to 119. And that's really our full range of Italian materials. If we just go through them all now, we've got levels 1, 2, and 3. We have our to-go series. We've got our magazine. We've got our reading club and the travel diaries. And in terms of where they all sit, for beginners, level 1 and to go, intermediate, level 2, the travel diaries and the reading club, and advanced, level 3, the magazine and to go season 2. In terms of where they come sort of between each other, so level 1, 2, 3 up top, the travel diaries are kind of between levels 1 and 2. So someone was asking earlier about they had been listening to the travel diaries, and would level 2 be the right place to go after that? Yep, that makes sense because they kind of sit between level 1 and 2. And the magazine kind of sits between level 2 and 3. The reading club is sort of level 2. And when I'm talking about levels, I'm saying level 1 is beginners, level 2 is intermediate, level 3 is advanced. In terms of the European Framework of Reference, then level 1 would be A1, A2, level 2 would be A2, B1, level 3, B1, B2, pushing into C1 at certain times in level 3. Obviously, when it comes to talking about these levels, we are saying that the content is at that level. We're not necessarily saying that if you do this, you will get a B2 in the language, because you need to be at B2 at speaking, reading, listening, and writing. And obviously, with this kind of content, you're consuming it, you're building your understanding, your knowledge, your use of it, but you're not necessarily producing it yourself. So just be aware of that. In terms of the club sits at the high beginner level, very much in the intermediate level, and the low advanced level, if that makes sense. And the other thing to mention about the club is that you can filter the types of videos. So if you want to see all of the early beginners content, you can filter it there. If you want to see the intermediate content and so on, you can also filter by length. So you might want to filter all the 5 to 10 minute videos if you've only got 5 minutes and you want to work on your verbs or something like that. And you can also filter by type. So if you want to see all the postcards, for example, we can jump to these. And Dove mi trovo oggi is a series where Francesca or Maurizio or Michela receives a postcard from another member of the team. And they've got to try to identify where the location is based on the clues in the postcard. It's great fun. Always great to learn more words and expressions and so on. And also great to learn about different places in the world. We also have a search function. So in the club, you can search for, let's say you're doing the imperfect. So if you look for imperfect, then you've got some translation challenges that feature that. You might have a SIP video. You might have different videos that will feature the imperfect in some way. So that's also in the club. Yeah, I think it's time for questions. So I know that I've seen some questions coming in over the past few minutes. And I'm more than happy to answer these now. So Shannon is saying, if I've got Babbel and I've just started A2, I think I maybe continue with that to get to intermediate and purchase that. Speaking is my biggest challenge. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I would also suggest think about the club, because the club is another way to practice at that lower intermediate level or that upper beginner level. But also you might want to think about the fact that if you wanted to buy intermediate just now, so if you wanted to buy our level 2 course just now, then you can buy that just now. You can leave it in the academy and you don't need to touch it until you've finished your Babbel course, and it will be ready and waiting for you because it's lifetime access. So you can take advantage of the deal now and buy now, if that makes sense. Janet is saying, when you say level 2, are you talking about intermediate 1? So level 2, yes, would be our intermediate course. Again, CEFR levels, level 2 would be around about the B1 level, pushing into B2. Joyce is saying, I've just signed up for level 1 and I think I need level 2. How do I switch? How do I contact someone to ask questions? I'm not computer savvy. Don't worry, Joyce. We can sort that out for you. The easiest way would be to email. I'll just put this on the screen. team@coffeebreaklanguages. If you email team@coffeebreaklanguages.com, then we will be able to get back to you and identify you in the academy and just swap you over. That's very, very straightforward. Alternatively, if you go to the Coffee Break Academy and you'll see down at the bottom right, there's a little chat icon. Click on that, send us a message, and someone will get that sorted out for you. Not a problem at all. Jackie is saying, Coffee Break is also on Spotify. Is this the same? So on Spotify, what you have is lots of free audio content. That content will obviously have adverts in it because our free content has to have ads, and that way it pays, in a sense, for the production of that free content. Obviously, there are no ads for third-party products or so on in the Coffee Break Academy content. And obviously, you've got access to the lesson notes, the video versions, and the bonus audio. So the free content that you're getting on Spotify is enhanced significantly by the premium content within the Academy. Vera is asking, how convenient is it to listen to the audio files in the car? Is it possible to have an app with purely the audios so I can seamlessly listen to a couple of lessons hands-free? So you can very easily listen to the audio files in the car, for example, just from if you use the browser on your phone and access the Coffee Break Academy. You can do it that way and play the audio files there. However, the audio of those audio files, with the exception of the ad issue I mentioned there, is also available within Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So whenever you get your podcasts, you can also listen to, for example, Season 1, and that's the equivalent of the Level 1 courses. The difference would be, of course, that you would get ads on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, but you wouldn't get them if you were at home listening on the Coffee Break Academy on your computer or your tablet. Sandra is asking, do you add new content to the Coffee Break Club? If you do, how often? Absolutely, every single week. We have added, I think we're up to 1,400 videos now. So 1,400 video lessons we've added in the last 2 years. And we are continuing to add new content. We've actually got some really exciting stuff coming up. I wonder if I can actually show you this. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Coursey.com. What did we call it? Next step, I think. Yep. So let me just come back here. I think I can show you this. So we've just announced some new announcements for the club. First of all, the fact that streaks are now available, so you can keep your streak on the club. We've added a new series of Walk, Talk and Learn. We've started adding our Over to You videos, and the Over to You is where you are engaging with the community by answering a question, and you can post your question as a video. We've announced the Verb Lab, which is a new type of working on your verbs, and we've announced Step by Step. So these are all new items coming to the club. Let me show you a couple of these just now. I may stop these halfway through once you get the idea. I hope they play. Oh. Why does that always happen when you're doing something live? I wonder if this one will work. There we go.
Hola, I'm Pablo, and I'm delighted you've joined me on today's walk to help you practice and improve your Spanish step by step, paso a paso. In this section, I'd like you to look around and tell me in Spanish what you can see. For example, where I am now, veo un árbol. I see a tree. Next up, we're going to do some listening comprehension. Ready? Listen carefully as I tell you about one of my friends who recently went to Chile. Now, let's talk about our daily routine. Copy the structure I use to answer the question, what time do you get up? Normalmente, yo me levanto a las 7. ¿Y tú? ¿A qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 8.
Muy bien, bien hecho.
So obviously that is a Spanish example of our step-by-step content, but that will be available in Italian as well. And our Verb Lab content, all of this will be available in Italian, French, German and Spanish. And these are the new aspects coming to the club in the new year. So we're constantly adding new materials to the club, and we hope that you continue to enjoy these innovative ways of practicing your language. Joyce is asking, how do I know if I'm in the club? So the club is on Coffee Break TV. If you've got an account for Coffee Break TV, then you'll be able to log in at coffeebreaktv.com. Joyce, again, if you just get in touch, we will help you work out what you've got, what you're in and what you're not in. Let's have a look. So is level 1 the same materials, the free sessions available on YouTube? So the free sessions available on YouTube are our Coffee Break show. So those are free video lessons on YouTube that you can access. The level 1 content is completely different from that. There are podcasts on YouTube. So the same way that there are podcasts on Spotify, but these are not words on screen. They're just like audio, basically. So our materials in the Coffee Break Academy have the additional materials such as the words on screen, the lesson notes and the audio content. Jason is asking about the masterclass. Do you intend to offer it in the future, and how is it different from the advanced class? So the masterclass for Italian is something that we will be offering in the future. It may take a slightly different form, but the masterclass is beyond, it's sort of beyond and with level 3. But it's a different type of course. The content in the masterclass is something that you're practicing within a cohort. You are getting feedback on your homework. You're getting speaking. There's a whole load of different aspects that go into the masterclass that are not with level 3. It's not available to purchase just now. That's why it's not included in the Black Friday sale. Let me see. Kate is asking, if I sign up to the club for 1 month as part of the treasure hunt, can I still access the Black Friday 13-month deal? I'm concerned I will still be charged a monthly charge. Okay, Kate, what to do is get in touch with us. We can swap you into, how do we do this? Get in touch, but we'll sort that out. But yes, absolutely, that's the point of creating that at the moment, so that anyone who is in that free month will be able to take advantage of the 13-month deal. Raymond is asking, are the club videos available for audio only as well? So most of the club videos are video, but you can also play them on your phone, for example, and put your phone in your pocket if you're going out a walk. Many of them are quite visual in the sense, for example, as we're walking around the town, we're seeing posters in the town. So that is a visual thing. But also we've got this new content, or step-by-step content, which is audio only. So there are audio elements in the club. Janet is asking about the Babbel course. That's another product. Someone was mentioning that they've bought a Babbel course. That's a different company. It's not us. That's completely separate from us. Sandra's saying, did I see something about bundles? Yes, you did, Sandra. Let me see if we can come back here. I don't think we got onto bundles, but we can talk. Okay, Margarita, do you offer any one-to-one classes? No, that's not something we offer. We've got a worldwide community of many, many thousands of learners, and we can't quite stretch to offering one-to-one classes. Jackie is saying, if I sign up, is there an app, or is it on YouTube or website? So the Coffee Break Academy courses are on the Coffee Break Academy website. The Coffee Break Club, our on-demand video library, that is on the Coffee Break TV website or the Coffee Break TV app. So you can access those via an app. The Coffee Break Academy content is accessible on our website. But none of this private content, none of this premium content is on YouTube. So we've answered that. Oh, we've lost audio. I hope we've not lost audio. I think I'm still on here. Okay. So apparently, we lost the audio back there. After I was explaining about bundles. I'm not quite sure what I was explaining about before the bundles, but because I've got the comments a little later, I can I can see these. Sorry, it's been a very long afternoon. We're 4 hours into this, and I've obviously missed that. So apologies for that. I hope you got all of the information. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying until the very end here. I hope that this has been useful. I hope it's given you some things to think about. The best place to go for all of the information is at that site there, coffeebreaklanguages.com/BF2024. Go there, find out about all of the content. We've got video explanations, we've got samples. There's everything that you need there. You will be able to access it there. and hopefully you'll be able to make the right decisions before Tuesday. If you have any questions, get in touch, because the team are fantastic at answering all of your queries. So either email us at that email address I said I put on the screen earlier, team@coffeebreaklanguages.com, or indeed click the little chat icon at the bottom right of the screen on the Coffee Break Academy or on the Coffee Break Languages website. I think that's us. I think we're finished. Have a great weekend. I hope that you enjoy whatever you're doing. And I hope that you enjoy all of this new content that we've got. I very much appreciate all your comments here. Michelle saying, I appreciate all your coursework. Lessons are so much fun. Dana is saying, very exciting. Thanks for the presentation. No problem at all. I hope that you give this some thought. I hope that you can take advantage of these bonuses that we've got on at the moment. But for now, I'm going to say grazie mille, and as ever, happy coffee breaking. Ciao, ciao.